The Aeneid of Vergil, a verse translation by Rolfe Humphreys. The Wanderings of Aeneas. And when Troy fell, and fortune failed, the Thracian took Agamemnon's side, broke off his duty, slew Polydorus, took the gold. There's nothing to which men are not driven by that hunger. Once over my fear, I summoned all the leaders, my father too. I told them of the portent, asked for their counsel. All agreed. A land so stained with violence and violation was not for us to dwell in. Southward ho! For Polydorus we made restoration. With funeral rites anew, earth rose again above his outraged mound. Dark fillets made the altars sorrowful, and cypress boughs, and the Trojan women loosed their hair in mourning. We offered milk in foaming bowls, and blood warm from the victims, so to rest the spirit, and cry aloud the voice of valediction. Then when we trust the sea again, and the wind calls with a gentle whisper, we crowd the shores, launch ship again, leave port, the lands and cities fade out of sight once more. There is an island in the middle of the sea. The Nereid's mother and Neptune hold it sacred. It used to wander by various coasts and shores until Apollo, in grateful memory, bound it fast, unmoving, unfearful of winds, between two other islands called Mykonos and Gyros. I sailed there. Our band was weary, and the calmest harbor gave us safe haven. This was Apollo's city. We worshipped it on landing, and their king, priest of Apollo also, came to meet us, his temples bound with holy fillets and laurel. His name was Aeneas. He knew Anchises as an old friend and gave us joyful welcome. Apollo's temple was built of ancient rock, and there I prayed. Grant us a home, Apollo. Give walls to weary men, a race, a city that will abide. Preserve Troy's other's fortress, the remnant left by the Greeks and hard Achilles. Whom do we follow? Where are we bidden to go to find our settlement? An omen, Father. I had scarcely spoken when suddenly all things trembled. The doors and the laurel and the whole mountain moved, and the shrine was opened, and a rumbling sound was heard. We knelt most humbly, and a voice came to our ears. The land which brought you forth, men of endurance, will receive you home. Seek out your ancient mother. There your house will rule above all lands, your children's children for countless generations. Apollo spoke, and we were joyful and confused together. What walls were those, calling the wanderers home? My father, pondering history, made answer. Here, leaders, learn your hopes. There is a land called Crete, an island in the midst of the sea, the cradle of our race. It has a mountain, Ida, like ours, 100 mighty cities, abounding wealth. If I recall correctly, Teucer, our greatest father, came from there to the Rhoetian shores to found his kingdom. Ilium was nothing then, the towers of Troy unheard of. Men lived in the lowly valleys, and Cybele, the great mother, came from Crete with her clashing cymbals, and her grove of Ida was named for that original. The silence of her mysterious rites, the harnessed lions before her chariot wheels, all testify to Cretan legend. Come then, let us follow where the gods lead, and seek the Cretan kingdom. It's not far, with Jupiter to favor, 3 days will see us there. With prayer he made most solemn sacrifice, a bull to Neptune, one to Apollo, to Winter a black heifer, a white one for fair winds.